Tuesday, and I am late, as you can tell. And, you know, honestly, I shouldn't have been late. Today, I'm late for different reasons, just things that we have to start preparing for Saturday. And why can't I hear myself? There we go. Now I can hear myself. Hey, just because. Oh, and it's snowing. We're getting our first snow. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. I can't remember the next line. Something and one in the park as well. Down to snow. Anyway, happy Tuesday. We're going to get into it quick today because I got a lot to do and a short time since I'm late. And I got to say hi to everybody, too. So I'm just going to dispense with the big intro and just tell Johnny, hey, Johnny, play the intro. Now, yes, hurry up. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, Dawg Knight. Alrighty then. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as Dawg Knight on the internet. And welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel. I sound extra deep today. I got some weird... Oh, did I change these settings? I don't know. It is Tuesday, the 7th of December, 2021, the 80th anniversary of the... No, wait, 1940. Yeah, this is the 80th anniversary of the day that lived in infamy, right? Is that right? This December 7th, 1941. And I unfortunately, I didn't really plan on talking about that today, and I probably should have. It'd be a good day to think about that. I guess I just noticed it was December 7th. And you would think, why isn't there a lot more out there about that today? I don't know. It's not like on Twitter, you would normally have things like that. And it's not even on here. It's not even on the what's happening. Is it in the, let me look at the Explore tab here. Am I hallucinating? Did I get this wrong? By the way, Jussie Smollett's trending right now, so I'll probably talk about him before I talk about Chris Cuomo because I want to see what's going on the old Twitter machine. Anyway, happy Tuesday. I'm glad you're here. Let's say a quick good morning to people who got here quick because, well, when you start late like this, some people think, oh, maybe he's not doing a show today. But I'm doing my show today. So I'm going to say hi. First in the chat today was Wikipedia Snippet. Who gets the bell? There. He kind of got it twice because I actually clicked it twice. Also, good morning to Mike Savage, Blarg. Good morning to Randy Monkey, who's yelling, P-Dog. Yeah, I just got done listening to your show a little bit ago. And they talked about Jussie a little bit. Also, good morning to Select a Boy.
Yeah,
also,
boy.
Good morning to, did I say, yes, I did say that. Aaron Meredith, what's up? Avocados Diablo, the Devil's Advocate. Broken Words in the House, welcome back. Also, good morning, Jesse Leon and Buster's Outlaws. Who, yeah, my answer to your question, okay, so he asked if you saw a lot of dust and dirt coming from a construction site that you lived by, would you film it just in case? My answer, well, only if I saw two pickups chasing a black man running down the street. Because, well, you know, get the joke. Also, good morning to Somnambule Nation. Good morning to Jedi Ghost Bears in the house. Ryan R., welcome back. Also, good morning to Renee Mayette. How you doing? Let's see. Is that everybody so far? Grillin' Pirate Pete's in the house. Nice to see you. And people are slowly coming in. Playing 7 days as I listen. Oh, okay. Well, you should be sleeping. Well, I'll try not to put you to sleep, monkey. And thank you for listening while you're here. Also, good morning, Colleen Bernier, our official Florida correspondent. I don't know how you got that title. Are you from Florida, Colleen? I've never been really sure about that. Wasn't that the joke when you'd come on the Lords of the Night, the Florida correspondent? Anyway, and also good morning, Mr. Scott. Nice to see you back. Okay, as people slowly roll in, I'm just going to get into it because I want to talk about a couple things. Well, one was, I was going to start with Chris Cuomo. That's who's in the thumbnail, because Chris Cuomo's lost another job. But Jussie is trending on Twitter. So I'm like, what the hell? What is going on Twitter? See right there, trending in the United States. Jussie Smollett, breaking. Jussie Smollett testifies there was no hoax during his trial on charges he lied to Chicago police about a racist anti-gay attack. That turned out to be a hoax. Two brothers have testified that Smollett, who is gay and black. Wait a minute. This is okay, AP. As I ask very often, every time they write a story about Jussie Smollett, is there anyone on the planet who doesn't know that Jussie Smollett is gay and black? Come on. They twice in this tweet by the AP, they make reference to something about his race. Let me read this again. This is so stupid. Jussie Smollett testifies there was no hoax during his trial on charges that he lied to Chicago police about a racist anti-gay attack. Two brothers have testified that Smollett, who is gay and black, paid them $3,500 to carry out a fake attack. And it's trending. Like, as a child, and it was, I noticed it. They had it on the sidebar here on what's happening. Jussie, right there, trending in the United States. For some reason, Nick Cannon's trending too, but Jussie Smollett is trending. Now, to me, it tells you a little bit about our media and how our established media protects the powerful, because really, Ghislaine Maxwell, I know it's, Monkey calls her just, I think they got that from Monkey, calling her Ghislaine. She should be trending right now. Her trial should be the #1 trial in America. And, it doesn't necessarily hurt the people they want it to hurt. So maybe that's why she's not trending. And, seeing as Bill Clinton wrote on the Lolita Express 27 times or 29 times or however many times, way more than Donald Trump did. Anyway, but Trump was his friend until Trump kicked him to the curb, and it's well documented. That's how he got in so much trouble with the, that's why he got in trouble the first time in Florida, and then the Florida people, the attorney general, whoever it is in Florida, screwed it up. And then they ended up trying him again, and he was going to prison, and then somebody didn't. Someone forgot to turn the camera on, and dang it, the dude hung himself. I don't get it. But anyway, but since Jussie's trending, I'm going to go Jussie first. By the way, what is this? Oh, how did this? Oh, that's me. Because that's my page. All right. Anyway, so let's. So instead, we're going to start with Jussie Smollett Day. Real quick, good morning, Camilla Doloritas. Did I say that right? Doloritas. And also Kessler, how you doing? Foxby2 in the house. Nice to have you all here. Everyone's slowly going in. Hold on. Is Jussie's black? Well, I wouldn't know. Let's read the AP article on this, because here it is. Jussie Smollett. Oh, let me make sure I center it so you can see the damn thing. I have to always adjust this because different articles place the stupid stuff in the different places, and it drives me up the wall. Jussie Smollett testifies at his trial. There was no hoax. Really, Jussie? Really, motherfucker? Former Empire actor Jussie Smollett. Colleen Burnett, wait a minute. I was one of the first two MSN News people. Oh, senior staff reporter. That's right. You're the senior staff reporter, and you had a lot, and chief Florida correspondent. Okay, good. You're going to be the official chief Florida correspondent for the Morning Night Live also, because we have our correspondents out there, and we have an official K-pop aficionado and our own devil's advocate, and all kinds of stuff. So you can be our Florida correspondent, chief Florida correspondent for the Morning Night Live. Anyway, former Empire actor Jussie Smollett denied Monday that he staged an anti-gay racist attack on himself, testifying at his trial that, quote, there was no hoax, end quote, and that he was the victim of a hate crime in his downtown Chicago neighborhood. Smollett, who faces charges that he lied to Chicago police about the January 2019 attack, sought to refute damaging testimony from two brothers. Well, I could call them brothers because I have Nigerian heritage. But the brothers last week, they said Smollett, who is gay and black, orchestrated the hoax to get publicity, giving them $100 for supplies and instructing them to place a noose around his neck and yell homophobic slurs. Hi, Special K. How you doing? Homophobic slurs. They also said Smollett gave them a $3,500 check to carry it out. And they had video of the dress rehearsal. Anyway, Smollett appeared calm throughout several hours of testimony. He is an actor after all, saying that he wrote the $3,500 check to Abimbola Osundaro for nutrition and training advice. Asked by his defense attorney if he gave Osundaro payment for some kind of hoax, Smollett replied, never, 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 never. Attorney Nanya Uche asked again if he planned what? He has a Nigerian attorney too? Interesting. If he planned to asked again if he planned a hoax. No, said Smollett. Smollett said there was no hoax. He said absolutely not. When asked if he gave Osundaro and his brothers $100 to pay for supplies for the fake attack, Smollett told jurors he had just returned from a trip and he was walking home after buying a sandwich. Excuse me, AP, can we get that right, please? Subway. Eat fresh. It was a Subway sandwich. It's an important detail. I just gotta get the plugs in when you can. And around 2 a.m. on January 29, 2019, okay, so they left something important out here. In a polar vortex where the wind chill was 29 below, but you're you're not really a famous actor because no one really knows who you are, but you were on, what was he in? He was in a movie. What was the movie? He was in some kind of, what the hell was that movie? When he was a kid. He was in some kind of Disney type movie. Oh, he was in the Mighty Ducks. He was the black kid. He was the black kid in the Mighty Ducks. Did you know that? Did you know that Jussie Smollett was in the Mighty Ducks? Anyway, okay, so he was driving his sandwich, walking home. When someone yelled a racist, homophobic slur. Remark, excuse me. Smollett said he turned around to confront the person who he said towered over him. Now, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Good morning, Stephanie. Stephanie, how you doing? Now, he said before it was more than one person, right? I mean, he didn't say it was just one guy back in the day. Maybe I'm missing something here. Okay. So anyway, the man who he said towered over him. Now, if the man towered over it, remember how in that interview with Robin Roberts on ABC's Good Morning America, he talked about how he fought him. He punched him back. He did this and that. Because he was, he couldn't say he got his ass whooped, but, he didn't have any bumps and bruises that I could tell. Anyway, he said, look, the man towered over him, standing up in the Chicago courtroom, like he He acted out. I'm not, this is not the exact words they use, but he gave them an artist rendition of what happened. He demonstrated how he said the man walked quickly toward him, then pointed to his left temple to show where the man hit him. I would like to think I landed a punch, but I don't know if it landed, Smollett said. He said he slipped and they tussled on the ground for up to 30 seconds. Why 30 seconds? Why would... Okay, so the man just came up and punched you out of your stupid ass in polar vortex in the middle of Chicago and on your way home from Subway. How come your sandwich didn't get damaged? Because you can't... Those video of you with the police, your Subway sandwich, like you were... Or no, when there was a video from the camera going into your building and the Subway sandwich looked like it was in perfect condition, like not, anyway. He pointed to his left temple, show where the man hit him. I'd like to think he landed a punch, blah, 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 blah. And they tussled on the ground for up to 30 seconds. Smollett said he saw a second person who he believes kicked him in his side. Oh, and that person ran away. Look, if someone's going to come beat your ass, why would they run away after one kick? Why wouldn't they just beat your ass? If they were some racist MAGA, tough guys, why wouldn't they just beat you? If they wanted to beat your ass, you'd have looked a lot worse than you did. Anyway, Smollett said he assumed the person who attacked him was white because he used a racial slur and shouted, "MAGA country." I'm changing it to a little bit of a Nigerian accent instead of because I used to go, "This is MAGA country," but I can't do that anymore because I know they were Nigerian. And oh my God, I was watching, who was I watching? Rakita Law and Nate the lawyer talking about this, and Nate the lawyer was cracking me up because he was like, "Oh, this is MAGA country," over and over and over. It was hilarious. Anyway. An apparent reference to then President Donald Trump's campaign slogan, "Make America Great Again." The brothers, Ambimbola and Olabinjo Isendairo, who are black. God, I love how they have to, well, I suppose if they thought they were white and then in this place they were actually black, testified last week that Smollett instructed them to yell, "This is MAGA country," during the fake assault. Smollett said he picked up his phone and told the person he had been talking to that he got jumped. Oh. I wonder if that person that he was talking to testified in court. I'm curious. Anyway, Smollett said he testified that he noticed he had a noose around his neck as he returned to his apartment. Yeah, a newly bought clothesline from a hardware store that just happened to match the one that the Osendairo brothers bought. That says he oh no, listen to this. Okay, so he said he removed the noose, but a friend who was at his apartment called the police and told him to put the noose back on so officers could see it. The officers laughed. Okay, I'm sorry. It's hard not to laugh about this shit. Smollett said he was upset police had been called because he would never have done so. Let me get the proper rendition here. "I am a black man in America. I do not trust the police," Smollett said. "I am also a well-known figure at that time, and I am an openly gay man." So, and first of all, now hold on. Let me back up here because I got to tell you, even as someone who occasionally watched Empire, my wife watched it regularly, right? And we knew of Jussie's character. I can't even remember his character's name right now, but the idea that he is a well-known figure at that time, if my X to doubt key worked, which it doesn't, pisses me off, I would be doing a little extra doubt right now because even as someone who watched Empire, and there are only really two people on that show that were well known. Okay, like if you see them and you go, oh yeah, that's the dude from who was in Iron Man, and then there was the other guy, the gal that was in that Guy with Iron Man on that movie about the rappers, right? And I can't even think of the names right now. Taj, what's her name, and the light-skinned guy that with the cool eyes that was the lead character. That's how famous Jussie Smollett was before this, okay? Because people knew that they were characters on the show, and the show was pretty popular at the time, but nobody knew Jussie Smollett's name, like his real name. They just knew he was that character on Empire. And guess what? Some people running around Chicago, supposedly mega country people, probably weren't watching Empire at the time. It was not, it was a well-known show on the what show was that? Was that on Fox television? But it's mostly popular with black people and my wife. Okay, she was like the one white woman who watched the show. Well, maybe white women watched the show. Yeah, Terrence Howard and Taj, whatever her name is. So anyway, he wasn't well known. The idea that in the middle of a polar vortex, Chicago, and 29 below wind chill, and walking home from Subway, there weren't just a couple guys that just happened to be out there. First of all, why were they carrying a rope and supposedly throwing bleach on people? Who's walking around at 2 a.m. in the polar vortex in not so MAGA country, because the Chicago, you couldn't even have a Trump rally there. Why the bloody hell would be two brothers be out, not even brothers, well, they were brothers because it was the Osundairo brothers, but why were they carrying a rope, a clothesline? And of course, he said they put a noose around my neck in interviews, but it was a clothesline that was kind of still wrapped up in its original form, and you could see the folds of the rope, but he had it around his neck when the police got there. The police is like, here, wait a minute. I got to reenact the police officer real quick. I got to do that with my face showing. The police officer was like, you want to take that off? Sorry, I couldn't even make it's a hard time. I have a hard time doing it without laughing. Anyway, he's like, you want to take that off? I mean, the police officer didn't even know why the hell he had it on still. Anyway, Smollett said after the news broke that everyone, including Trump, had an opinion about what happened, and he hated the attention. He hated the attention so much he went on and had a softball interview with Robert Roberts on Good Morning America. Did he go on The View with this shit? Do you remember? I can't remember. I could remember, but I know he went on Good Morning America, and that interview was embarrassing for Robin Roberts, I got to tell you. By the way, Tyra Alexander, good morning, and also, Ryan R., I think I already said hi to you. And anyway, so, and now he's in the trial. He added the fact that I lost my livelihood. Well, your show got canceled, and I'm pretty sure everyone on the cast of Empire is probably pretty pissed off at you. Actually, they were already filming their last season, and he just reinforced the fact that show needed to be canceled. But anyway, now, under cross-examination, Smollett said he refused to give Chicago police his cell phone for their investigation because he wanted his privacy. Asked by Special Prosecutor Dan Webb if he was concerned the phone would show several calls to Abimbola Osundairo, Smollett said, nah. He also testified that Osundairo told him he could get an herbal steroid that encourages weight loss, but it is illegal in the U.S. on the low, or secretly, while he was on an upcoming trip to Nigeria. Osundairo testified that Smollett sent him a text message about talking on the low, and that during the conversation, Smollett asked him about helping to stage the attack. Smollett said Monday that the message was in reference to the illegal steroid. Wait, he said about, okay, text about the low. Oh, I see. He text messaged about talking on the low, but then during the conversation, asked about the steroid. Anyway, when Webb asked about Osundairo's testimony, said that Smollett recruited him for a hoax, Smollett replied, fully false. 100% false. Defense attorneys would suggest that the Osundairo brothers accused Smollett of staging the hoax because they disliked him and then saw an opportunity to make money. They suggested that after the brothers were questioned by police about the alleged attack, they asked Smollett for $1 million each not to testify against him at trial. Smollett's, let's see. Smollett's lawyers also have argued that Chicago police rushed to judgment when they brought charges against Smollett. They had the evidence, moron. They just, Jesus, oh my God. Smollett's, okay, but he met, Smollett said he met Osundairo in 2017 at a club where he learned Osundairo also worked on the Empire set. He said the two men did drugs together and went to a bathhouse. Well, I was going to put some interlude music. Anyway, he said the two men did drugs together, went to a bathhouse where Smollett said they made out. He said that the two men did later did more drugs and participated in sex acts together. Well, damn, that's a little too much information. Osundairo testified last week that he and Smollett did not have a sexual relationship. Okay, Smollett testified, prosecutor, okay, he met Obambola's brother Olabingo, but that they did not speak. He said Osundairo made it seem like they needed to sneak off when they were together around his brother. Smollett said he never trusted Olabingo Osundairo. Prosecutors say Smollett staged the attack because he was unhappy with the Empire studio response to hate mail he received, which he was under investigation for sending to himself. They found the magazines they cut out at the Osundairo brothers' apartment. Oh, good Lord. The letter included a drawing of a stick figure hanging by a noose. Oh, was it a noose or a clothesline? I'm just curious. With a gun pointed at it, saying the word MAGA. Oh, this whole thing. You know, when he was talking to Robin Roberts, he's like, yeah, I go hard at Donald or 45 or Donald Trump or some shit. It's like, nobody gives a shit who you are. Come on now. Nobody, Donald, like, as if, first of all, you made one, look, okay, so at the time, okay, this was when I first started my show, The Morning Night Live, and I was given like two major gifts in like the 2 first weeks of my show, because in the first week I think it was Jussie Smollett, and then the next week the damn Nick Sandman thing happened with the kids from Covington High School and the Chief Lying Fire Pants, remember him? And so I remember this, that I was watching the interview and all this stuff, and we were going through his Twitter account, because I go hard on 45, like he was some big anti-Trump guy. He had like 2 tweets in his entire Twitter feed about Trump at that time. So it was almost like, now bear with me on this, it was almost like he tweeted some mean things about Trump in anticipation for this incident, because there was really nothing in his timeline about Trump at the time other than like 2 tweets that where he was, fuck Donald Trump or some shit like that. Come on, man. Look, here's the thing. And I had a theory at the time that, and this is before I realized he was having a contract renegotiation with Empire, and the show might be going off the air, blah blah blah. I had a theory at the time that this incident, that he initially was writing this as perhaps a plot line for Empire that he could put into the show and just get some writing credit for it. And it's like, now I'm having this contract negotiation. Let's just play this out in real life and see what happens. Because it sounds like a really bad, like, nighttime soap opera script. Because it's so bad. And it just was so poorly executed. So anyway, he's got a felony charge and some other shit going on. And we'll follow the trial. Even though it's not Jussie Wednesday, I had to, since he's trending today, I just had to go over that. Now, I got and if you want to read the articles, they'll be in the tab below. There's a Yahoo article that was actually the BBC story on it. There's really nothing different in that. And so, you can, I have the two articles they'll be in the tab I update every day in the description of this video. So if you want to go back and any of the articles I go through, there'll be a link that'll take you to every single one of those articles on one page. All right, let's move on. Well, speaking of Donald Trump, since Jussie goes hard at Donald Trump, I don't really need to say those words. Oh, Tyre, you read my mind. By the way, who is Elijah Ilasa Engozalebs with some kind of is that just now? Am I starting to get spam in the chat too now? Is that spam? Elijah Ilasa Engozalebs, whatever that says. Don't spam my chat. What the hell is that? All right, so moving on. Speaking of Donald Trump, Trump's social media platform got $1 billion investment boost. And apparently Democrats are getting nervous about it. Donald Trump was the type of kid who, if you kicked him out of your sandbox, would build a bigger, better sandbox next to yours, probably with slot machines, velvet ropes, and model bartenders. That's a way to start an article. This is PJ Media, so it's not always serious. Good morning, K-Show. Now, what did Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube think he would do? What did they think he would do after they booted him off their platform shortly after the January 6th protest? Needless to say, Trump is fighting back by building his own social media platform called Truth Social, which he claims will end censorship and political discrimination. By the way, I have put my reservation in for my PDawgKnight name at Truth Social, even though it's not quite up and running yet. Hi, Julie Coles. How you doing? So why now? Needless to say, Trump's okay. I said that. Some people must feel pretty strongly about the Trump brand. Investors just kicked in another $1 billion up on top of $293 million raised in September from an initial public offering by Digital World Acquisition Corporation. Trump, he's at almost $1.3 billion on this startup for this social media platform. That's pretty amazing. Trump is enthused. $1 billion sends $1 million sends an important message to big tech that this censorship and political discrimination must end. Yes, it really must end. It must end. Yes, it must end. As our balance sheet expands, Trump Media and Technology Group will be in a stronger position to fight back against the tyranny of big tech. They're really tyrannical. Truth Social is expected to be rolled out in the first quarter of 2022, just in time for the 2022 midterm elections. Hey, woo! There we go. So anyway, and if you want this in the article at the bottom, if you want to join the waiting list, there is a link to that in the article. And let's see, they do have some more of this. I just stopped there before. Let's see. Trump used Twitter to work around the fake news media and get his messages out to his 88.7 million followers before the platform sandbagged his account. Truth Social is rumored to bear a resemblance to Twitter. I would be shocked if it didn't. Just like Getter and Cloud Hub and what's that? What's the one? Parler, yeah, and even Gab has a similar interface. We'll see how it goes. It'll be interesting to see how Trump does this. Moving on. Speaking of Trump social, Representative Devin Nunes from California is going to retire from Congress. He's not going to run again, and he's going to join Trump's social media company. I'm fascinated by that. He announced his retirement from Congress on Monday, effective at the end of 2021, to join President Donald Trump's upcoming social media company. Quote, "It has been my privilege to serve the people of California, San Joaquin Valley, for 19 years in the U.S. House of Representatives. During this time, I fought hard in Washington for the interests and values of Valley families to help my constituents resolve any problems they may have with a federal government agency. Recently, I was presented with a new opportunity to fight for the most important issues I believe in. I am writing to let you know I've decided to pursue this opportunity, and therefore I will be leaving the House of Representatives at the end of 2021. I will deeply miss being your congressman." Fascinating. Excuse me. I wonder who's gonna replace Nunes. It's a fairly strongly Republican area, but I don't know. That's interesting. So, okay, there you go. Devin Nunes gonna be with Trump Social. T-Ball, what's happening? Career politician, good riddance. Nunes took a lot of heat during the Russia thing. That seems to be a Democrat op, as we're finding out, and he was right on some of the things he said that nobody else believed. So anyway, the U.S. Department of Justice is suing Texas over their redistricting plan. I really haven't followed this too much. I'm just going to put the article up. I haven't really seen what Texas is actually doing, but in this article, the U.S. Department of Justice is throwing its weight into the legal fight over Texas's newly drawn maps for Congress and the state House, filing lawsuit Monday that claims Texas lawmakers discriminated against voters of color by denying Latino and Black voters equal opportunities to participate in the voting process and elect their preferred candidates. How? Anyway, the Biden administration filed a lawsuit in federal court in Texas, joining what is expected to be a protracted fight over the political boundaries the state will use for elections to come. So now, listen, this is funny, because if you ever looked at the congressional districts, for example, in Maryland, one of the most gerrymandered states in the union, and the Justice Department is not going after Maryland. I think this is, I don't know, this, the administration, the Biden administration has a full court press on all things Texas and Florida. I'm curious how this is going to go. Anyway, Republicans redo congressional districts in the area with almost surgical precision, stranding urban and suburban voters of color in vast rural districts. The department is also challenging Texas's new state house map, where it argues lawmakers eliminated Latino electoral opportunities. How in Texas? How do you do that? Latinos are everywhere in Texas. Give me a break. Anyway. So that'll be an interesting one to follow. I'm not going to get into it. Daily Caller also has an article about it. That the big announcement from what's his name? That guy. This guy right here. This guy in the picture. His name is something. It's Merrick Garland. That guy. Anyway, they announced the lawsuit at a press conference alleging that Texas officials are violating Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act by lumping too many Black and Latino voters into too few districts to dilute their voices. Okay. We'll see how that goes. And here's the little one on this is from Texas Tribune, which I think is based in Austin. And they say that the new political maps protect GOP majorities while diluting voices of voters of color. Okay. Curious. Let's move on. Let's talk about Chris Cuomo, because since I'm running out of time, and that was the main topic today. Chris Cuomo is out of another job, according to the Daily Caller and other choice media outlets. Just when you thought things couldn't get worse for Chris Cuomo, the former CNN anchor announced Monday. Okay. Does anyone get a? Well, I was gonna say. I can't believe I was gonna say that. Okay. Does anyone get a little moist hearing the words "former CNN anchor"? Anyway. Former CNN anchor Monday when he'll be resigning from his SiriusXM radio show. The way my time ended at CNN was hard, Cuomo wrote in a post on Instagram. While I have thick skin, I also have a family for whom the past week has been extraordinarily difficult. Yeah, because now there's allegations of sexual misconduct. So right now I have to take a step back and focus on what comes next. That means I will no longer be doing my SiriusXM radio show. I'm curious if anyone listened to that anyway, but apparently he had one. I'm extremely grateful for the support I've received from SiriusXM throughout my time here. I also want to express my sincere appreciation for loyal listeners. I will miss our conversation a great deal, but I look forward to being back in touch with you all in the future. So, he's not quitting life. He's just quitting his radio show for a while. And, but hey, the other part of this though is, he's not necessarily taking this thing lightly. This whole CNN dismissal and stuff. And this from PJ Media, will a disgruntled Chris Cuomo take CNN down with him? Well, maybe Don Lemon. Oh, can't make jokes like that anymore. As my PJ Media colleague A.J. Kaufman pointed out Sunday, Chris Cuomo's saga is far from over. If CNN wants to uphold its dwindling integrity as a news outlet, they should explain what they knew, when they knew it, and most importantly, why they pretended not to know it. Agree? The network may not explain what they knew, but a disgruntled Chris Cuomo appears to be uninterested in going down in flames alone. Insert Don Lemon joke. According to a report from the Wall Street Journal, Cuomo claims that CNN's president Jeff Zucker was very much aware of his efforts to help help his brother through his sexual misconduct allegations. Now, if you believe that, put a 1 in the chat. And if you don't believe that, put a 2 in the chat. If you believe Zucker, CNN's president, was very much aware of his efforts to help his Chris Cuomo's brother through his sexual misconduct allegations. If you believe that, put a 1 in the chat. If you do not believe that, put a 2 in the chat, and I will give you my esteemed opinion after I get a few votes. Mr. Cuomo is an attorney representing Cuomo said, Mr. Cuomo has the highest level of admiration and respect for Mr. Zucker. He said that in a statement in the Wall Street Journal. Quote, they were widely known to be extremely close and in regular contact, including about the details of Mr. Cuomo's support for his brother. There were no secrets about this, as other individuals besides Mr. Cuomo can attest. Now, the statement may have been complimentary towards Zucker, but was clearly designed to link Zucker to Cuomo's efforts to help his brother. After Cuomo's termination was announced, fellow anchor Brian Stelter accused Cuomo of violating journalistic ethics and norms not once or twice, but many times, calling his actions a serious breach of standards and practices. Isn't he the guy that runs that show called Reliable Sources? Come on, dude. But if Jeff Zucker was in regular contact with Cuomo about how he was helping his embattled brother, then the implications of that are huge. Huge. CNN, for its part, is denying Cuomo's claim. He has made a number of accusations that are patently false. CNN said in a statement, this reinforces why he was terminated for violating our standards and practices, as well as his lack of candor. It doesn't even matter if Cuomo's telling the truth. It appears that he isn't going down quietly. and I'm just avoiding the jokes, and his willingness to link Zucker, the president of the network, to his scandal makes that clear. Yes, I agree. And I do believe Jeffrey Zucker knew everything about what Chris Cuomo was doing. Why? Because Jeff Zucker is a shill for Democrats, and his network shills for Democrats. And he runs the show at CNN, often telling what the news anchors get to talk about, what they don't get to talk about, which establishment left narratives are going to be run on CNN, and which ones having no dissent. There's no dissent allowed on CNN anymore. There used to be, but there's not. You'll never see another show like Crossfire until they completely gut their entire format, which may be coming soon, by the way. Yeah, 1-1-1. I see the people who voted said 1, and I agree with those who voted. Anyway, let's see here. Never seen anything like it. Oh, so anyway, that's the saga of Chris Cuomo. Please stay tuned for more and in a future episode. The residents of LA are kind of getting tired of this, what would I call it? Bullshit that's going on in LA. Because it's starting to seep into the wealthy neighborhoods, like when they raided those very hoity-toity stores and stole a bunch of shit, like hundreds of $1,000s worth of shit. Anyway, philanthropist Jacqueline Avant was killed in her Beverly Hills home on Wednesday, sparking renewed concerns about Los Angeles' rising violent crime bleeding into wealthy neighborhoods. Violent crime rates have been rising in the city for 2 years, according to the Los Angeles Times. I wonder why. While property crimes have reportedly seen only modest changes since 2019, car thefts are up nearly 53%, and homicides are up 46% from 2019. The crime wave has even touched the safest, wealthiest neighborhoods in the area. Violent crime in Beverly Hills rose 23% in the last 2 years, the Los Angeles Times report. Now, okay, hang on. I don't know. That doesn't tell me a whole lot, because, when they use percentages, there could have been 7 violent crimes in Beverly Hills. And if you go from 7 to perhaps 9 violent crimes in Beverly Hills, that'd be roughly 23%. It doesn't tell me much. But anyway, so take that with a grain of salt. JMK, how you doing? So anyway, the crime wave up 23% in 2 years, the Los Angeles Times reported. I've never seen anything like it. Dominic DeLuca, owner of a local skateboard shop, told the Los Angeles Times. A local skateboard shop in Beverly Hills? Okay, that's just weird. Anyway, hey, doesn't this dude look like Garrett Morris? Look at that guy. Doesn't he look like Garrett? You know who Garrett Morris? Well, some of you might know who Garrett Morris is, former Saturday Night Live guy. Anyway, skateboard. In the last 2 years, I've been broken into 3 times. 2 years. Anyway, let's see. What? Oh, that's the woman who got killed. That's really sad. That's really sad. Oh, Oprah Winfrey knows her. I've never heard of her. And it doesn't say how she was killed. Like, what? I guess there's a story there somewhere. Anyway, Oprah Winfrey mourned the death of Avant on Twitter, saying the fact that this happened, her being shot and killed in her own... Oh, shit. She was shot and killed in her own home. Has shaken the laws of the universe. Some Beverly Hills residents and workers told the Los Angeles Times that they fear violent crime more now than in the past, saying that more than just seeing violence, they witnessed a recent increase in homelessness in the area. George Gascon, district attorney of Los Angeles County, that dickhead, vowed to reverse harsh on crime policies in his inaugural speech in December 2020. Some of Gascon's policies have emboldened criminals, Los Angeles County Sheriff Alex Villanova told Fox News. Among other reforms, Gascon announced in November that he would release a convicted murderer who served 6 years of his 50-year sentence. Why? Los Angeles Police Department Chief Michael Moore, not that Michael Moore, or is it Michelle? I don't know. And Mayor Eric Garcetti were critical of recent police policies allowing nonviolent arrestees to be released without bail in a Thursday press conference, according to the Los Angeles Times. So just like many of the big cities, LA has seen an increase in crime. How much time do we got? Ooh, I'm running out of time. Well, let's get through this. Also in the Daily Caller, school officials could face charges in Michigan's Oxford High School shooting. Infamous one. What's up? Yeah, people voted for this crap. I'm telling you, they voted for it. They're getting it. And now guess what? I think I think the boomerang is going to be pretty devastating. I got to tell you. Is that the way to put it? How do you say it? When the wave of backwards, the pendulum will swing hard in the next elections, I would hope. But then again, some of these places don't really get it. So anyway, Oxford school officials could potentially face charges following the shooting last week that killed 4 students and injured 7 others in Michigan. Oakland County prosecutor Karen McDonald revealed the new information during an interview on NBC's Today, aired on Monday, during which she was asked if it was possible that school officials could face charges related to the tragedy. It's possible, McDonald responded, offering no further comment. The parents each face 4 criminal charges for involuntary manslaughter after reports that their son allegedly used a handgun purchased by the father as a gift for his son on Black Friday. Now, I'm just curious. Did anyone hear of them finding the parents? Because I knew they kind of disappeared somewhere. Anyway, the Daily Wire previously reported that the 15-year-old Michigan student also likely had the handgun in his backpack during a meeting with teachers and parents just hours before using it in the shooting spree. McDonald told CNN Thursday that there was a very strong possibility the suspect was already carrying the weapon during a meeting with his parents and school officials earlier the day before. That's the same sentence. What? It's just a different wording. What the hell? Anyway, I think that it's already been public that he did have the weapon during COVID. They don't use lockers, so they just have backpacks, McDonald said. And unfortunately, he was allowed to get back to class, and we now know he had a weapon with him at that time. That is simply tragic. Oxford Community School Superintendent Tim Throne also addressed the shooting during a video to the community on Thursday. I want you to know that there's been a lot of talk about the student who was apprehended, Throne said, that he was called into the office and all that kind of stuff. No discipline was warranted. There are no discipline records at the school. Okay. It's kind of these roundabout articles. You can read the rest, but apparently they are thinking about suing the school as well, or the school being in trouble, or officials at the school being in trouble. You know, unless they knew he had a weapon in his backpack, I don't know what they could have done. It's I don't know. Who knows? I can understand why his parents might be in trouble, sort of, but still, it's not like they said, "Oh, here, son, here, have a pistol, and we'll just see what happens later." I don't know. Anyway, moving on. So, yeah, we heard about this guy, the Sony executive caught in an amateur pedophile sting video. It'll be in the tab. You can read about it, and even though it's not Thursday, fuck this guy. And I used this joke already in a chat somewhere, but fuck this guy right in the ass with a fireman's pole in prison. So, FTG. Let's see here. U.S. officials announced official diplomatic boycott of the Beijing Olympics. They're not boycotting the Beijing Winter Olympics, but they're the official. This is a big announcement yesterday that they're gonna boycott the diplomatic section of the Beijing Olympics. Now, this is fascinating. I'll give you the headline. You can read the rest later. But there's a second. This is the shot, and then there's a chaser. Okay. On Monday, the United States government announced an official diplomatic boycott of the Beijing Winter Olympics in response to human rights violations committed by the Chinese Communist Party. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki made the announcement during her Monday appearance before the White House pool. The Biden administration the Biden administration will not send any diplomatic or official representation to the Beijing 2022 Winter Olympics and Paralympic Games, given the PRC's ongoing genocide and crimes against humanity, Psaki told the media. And the announces there, I'm not going to play it. But she added the U.S. will support American athletes from abroad. The athletes on Team USA will have our full support. We're behind them 100% as we cheer them on from home. We will not be contributing to the fanfare of the games. Now, that's fascinating because an article I saw today says, okay, wait a minute. This is White House confirms U.S. will play China's Genocide Olympics. What does that mean? Okay, that's not the one I wanted. But anyway, the Olympic team will go, but the diplomatic team will not go. Where is it? Where's the article I was talking about? That's not it. Oh, shoot. Did I screw that up? What the hell? Well, anyway, so apparently they were talking to someone in the Chinese delegation, right? And the Chinese delegation was saying, well, what diplomatic, what diplomatic officials are involved in the Olympics? Not sure what the hell you're talking about. We didn't have any diplomatic plans during the Olympics, just the teams and shit, and we're not sure what the hell the White House is talking about. Anyway, so let's see. This is I'm not going to go through. It's just another article from the Breitbart version. Anyway, the Biden administration to Uyghurs dropped dead. The administration lobbies against human rights measure to pave the way for a climate deal. This is speaking of China. As Vladimir Putin mobilizes forces on the Ukraine border and the Chinese submarines patrol the Taiwan Strait, President Joe Biden's State Department has made its priorities clear. The slave-made solar panels must flow. Republican Senator Marco Rubio and Democratic Senator Jeff Merkley of Oregon introduced a bill in January prohibiting the importation of goods made with forced labor from the Xi Jinping Uyghur Autonomous Region, or Xinjiang, Uyghur Autonomous Region, where a genocide perpetrated by the Chinese government is afoot. It passed the Senate in a voice vote in July. It was more controversial at Foggy Bottom, where we now know that Deputy Secretary of State Wendy Sherman and John Kerry, Biden's special envoy for climate, have been lobbying their fellow Democrats against including the measure in the annual defense bill. The reasons are equally comical and demented. Kerry is lusting for a Nobel Peace Prize for his climate work. Why? John Kerry, and I am the climate czar. I fly around in my private jet that my wife bought for me wherever I want to go around the world, and that's how I travel. Now, don't worry about the climate because my plane has low emissions compared to other planes because it is smaller than a giant passenger plane, so it must have less emissions, so I am doing my part on my carbon footprint. But anyway, the Biden administration is not so keen on the plan by Rubio and Jeff Merkley, and especially when it comes to solar panels. Says, guess what? If we can save the planet, a little bit of slave labor is not going to hurt anybody, okay? Just as long as we can save the planet. At least they'll have a place to live. All right, moving on. Bill de Blasio. Remember, Bill de Blasio, there's a new mayor going to be in New York City. But on his way out, Bill de Blasio has decided that private companies now have 3 weeks to get everybody vaccinated. Mayor Bill de Blasio sprang a stupid 19 super juice mandate on all private businesses in New York City on Monday, drawing immense rebuke from trade groups. New York office workers and some fellow elected officials who said the backbone of the Big Apple was blindsided by the stunning move. De Blasio, whose mayoralty ends at the stroke of midnight on New Year's Eve, labeled making Fauci juice compulsory for private businesses a preemptive strike against an expected surge in stupid 19 infections this winter amid the emergence of the Omicron variant. Sorry, I think Lady Boomer's sleepy. I probably shouldn't be screaming. Hi, Cool Frog. How you doing? We're going to announce the first in the nation measure, de Blasio said on MSNBC's Morning Joe. Morning Joe, a.k.a. 60 rounds into the crowd, Morning Joe, pinning the move on getting ahead of Omicron. Now, I've been listening to a lot of people who know what they're talking about regarding Omicron. It's what they keep screaming Omicron variant. It's kind of stupid, but I don't know. Here's the point. De Blasio, there's an editorial. De Blasio, after a splashy announcement, de Blasio's reign can't end soon enough. Carol Markowitz, an editorial writer at the New York Post, is not happy with Mayor Bill. On Monday, de Blasio did what Mayor de Blasio does best, make a splashy announcement that would do nothing to help the city he runs. The news that private businesses in the city will be forced to mandate vaccinations starting on December 27th. And indoor businesses will now have to check the vaccination cards on all kids over 5. You have to have vaccine passports for 5-year-olds in New York City. Was just the latest missile the mayor has lobbed at a once thriving city. The reign of the spectacle mayor can't end soon enough. Yeah, they're not happy with them. I think, look, I'm hoping the new mayor who comes in says, "The fuck was that? We're not doing that shit. Kill our city." Anyway, FTG, Bill de Blasio. Unfortunately, though, Letitia James, who's going to be running for governor probably, she backs New York City's vaccine mandates and wants a statewide mask requirement. Yay! I'm not even going to read it. I'm out of time. I'm not going to read it. Other stories in the tab today. An editorial called Stop Being Afraid. Very good article in Beyond the Black, just talking about that. If you really look at the data, the statistics of the stupid 19, you might want to tell some government officials to shut the fuck up. Also in Oregon, but Oregon's governor, rules for thee, not for me, spotted maskless at a D.C. gala despite pushing permanent mask mandate in her state. A permanent mask mandate in her state. Permanent. Democratic Oregon Governor Kate Brown was spotted maskless at a gala event in Washington, D.C., even as she pushes for a permanent mask mandate in her state. Is that getting repetitive? Well, I just got to tell you. She was a featured guest at the LGBTQ Victory Fund 30th Anniversary Gala in Washington, D.C. on Saturday. Brown was also one of 4 LGBTQ Victory Hall of Fame inductees from the pro-LGBT Pact. Why didn't they left the Q out on that? Anyway, a Twitter user posted a photo of himself standing with Brown and David Gins, Deputy Director of Operations for Vice President Kamala Harris. What does it mean when you What does it mean when you match with the amazing, utterly fabulous, and indefatigable champions for equality and progress who are Kate Brown for Oregon and David Ming, blah, blah, blahs? You know what? But they're not wearing a mask. Whoops. So more public officials with rules for thee and not for me. And lastly in the tabs, we got warm winter weather bails out Biden. So natural gas prices are falling because they're expecting a mild winter, and that's good. And I don't know, they haven't. I've heard any news about them, about production of natural gas going down. So he's getting a little bit of a lucky break that the natural gas prices are falling. Hi, Tessa Cunningham. You have the secret to beating the virus. You have what the politicians have that suck up the virus, a microphone. Well, yes, because apparently as long as you're speaking in a microphone, you cannot get the virus. So you can take your mask off and do whatever the hell you want. So I'm sticking by my microphone here. Anyway, so apparently that's a good news for people who use natural gas to heat their homes, etc., which includes my home here in snowy Minnesota. And let's see, the last couple articles here. This book, that London or Lundown or whatever county in Virginia that has all the school controversies. Well, apparently a book depicting underage incest under fire as a part of $1.3 million London diverse text efforts. They have a diverse text project in that county, and well, you can read some of the kind of diversity books, diverse lifestyle books that they brought in, and I think the parents are going to be a little bit pissed off when they read the story. You can read it on your own, though. And then finally, Jen Psaki refuses to claim Hunter Biden laptop being Russian disinformation. The story on the laptop. Well, here, let's just give you the little. Where's the clip? Oh, I thought the clip was here. Oh, here it is.
The Biden administration today put out a big report about addressing corruption. I want to ask you two quick and hopefully pretty easy questions about that.
And this was even Peter Ducey asking.
Shortly after President Biden's virtual meeting with the Chinese president, the first son's attorney said that he has finally divested from a Chinese investment fund controlled by state-owned entities. I was hoping you could commit to basic transparency about that transaction, including the name of the buyer, the dollar amount, and the timing. And the second question is, my colleague Miranda Devine has a new book out called
but he is from the Post.
And I was hoping that you could confirm that the laptop is indeed authentic and not Russian disinformation, as you seemed to suggest on Twitter last year.
Well, on the first, the president's son is not an employee of the federal government, so I'd point you to his representatives. And as
really, that's your answer? He's not an employee of the federal government. Okay, now I won't use Don Jr. or Ivanka as an example, but let's say, for example, this was information about Tiffany Trump. Tiffany Trump had some shenanigans going, and the apparently this whole laptop story. Let's just say it was during the Trump era, and then Tiffany Trump was the owner of the laptop that was involved in this controversy. Do you think for 1 second they wouldn't be asking the president of the United States at the time, Donald Trump, about the laptop or the secretary? Because it is his family, and it's government corruption and all kinds of stuff that happened when Joe Biden was vice president. Holy shitballs, banana. Or Batman. What did I say? Banana? I didn't mean that. Anyway.
as it relates to the book, I've neither had the time nor interest in exploring or reading the book. Go ahead, Tina. Go ahead, Tina. I think I answered your question. Go ahead. You can go to the representative of the person who's not an employee of the federal government. Go ahead.
Deflect. Oh, but speaking of which, apparently the Biden administration is going to crack down on the art industry. The White House flags art industry for money laundering while letting Hunter Biden sell art to anonymous buyers. The White House flagged money laundering in the art industry on Monday as a point of corruption while allowing Hunter Biden to sell his artwork to anonymous buyers for as much as $500,000. Have you seen Hunter Biden's art? I don't think it's worth $500,000, but there's some people out there who are really into, just the way that Hunter Biden makes a picture. And they will buy they think it's so good that they will give Hunter Biden $500,000 for a piece of art that, I just can't imagine if his name was, I don't know, David Murphy in Hoboken, New Jersey, that art would sell for the same amount of money. just wonder. Anyway, the first report of its kind named the United States Strategy on Countering Corruption is geared toward exploring the ways and means government officials abuse public power for private gain. Though the White House report specifically focused on the art industry as a market where financial crimes occur, it did not mention the Biden family's involvement with corruption, such as Hunter's art selling scheme to investors while his father is the president of the United States. So there you go. There's not a whole lot more to it that, it just gets repetitive. So I'm not going to read the whole thing. Plus, I'm out of time. So, ladies and gentlemen, I must thank you for being here today. Did anyone? It was kind of a light show today, but if you haven't done so already, please hit the like button. I hope you enjoyed the show, and that's it for today. I'll try to be on time and, all that stuff tomorrow. But if not, just, I'll be here sometime after 9 or near 9, and we'll get as much as we can, and then we'll take it off. Tomorrow is also, by the way, Jussie Wednesday, so hopefully there'll be an update in that trial. I'm shocked that he took the stand and decided to testify on his own behalf, especially if you watched or heard anything else about it. You can't watch it because they're not televising it. But just the fact that they had video of them doing a practice run on the alleged attack in the polar vortex, which is interesting that they did that. God, I don't know how. Well, he's an actor, so he can get on stage and lie his ass off, which he's done. I don't think he's credible, but anyway, tomorrow is Jussie Wednesday, and we'll see what else is in the news that happens later in the day. Until then, it's time for me to go. So thanks for joining us today. Share the stream, hit the like button. If you want to sponsor the show, you can figure out how to do that in the description down below. And if you're watching on replay, put a comment in the comment section so I know that you dropped by. That's it for me today. My name is PDawgKnight, and I am out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is PDawgKnight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawgKnight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cashapp, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here.